But somebody handed me a phone yesterday and said, "Oh, I need a young person to help me with my technology." She did something with her phone and she got into a screen that she's not used to seeing, and she's like, "I need a young person." She wasn't wrong. So maybe I'm getting older, and I don't want to let it go.
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about this topic and just before coming into the room here, and I was thinking this could be controversial or really interesting, and people will agree with some of the things that we're going to share here, because aging can feel like it's a negative thing, but it can also be a really positive thing.
I want you to hold on to that thought, because I've got a lot of things that are negative that need to come out first.
Awesome. All right.
And maybe not negative. It's just I've been wanting to do this topic now for months, but I haven't been able to process enough of it. I think that I was able to put it into a cohesive thing, and I still don't think it's a cohesive thing. But there's been more things that have come up over the past while that have caused me to think about aging, whether it's injuries at the gym and they're taking forever to heal, expectations of myself and what I'm able to actually do and perform now. My dad was recently in hospital, so like just thinking of mortality in general, and how do I want to spend my time, and who do I want to spend my time with, and what am I willing to do and what am I not willing to do anymore. And there's just been kind of a revolving door of ideas, and just thinking about, okay, I just turned 49. Like in most lifetimes, I'm on the downside of like, I've gone up the hill, I'm coming back down. Like and there's nothing going to stop it. If I'm I'm my grandmother, I'm still on the climb up, but not all of us are going to be lucky enough to live to 106. So whatever. So yeah, I'm probably on the downslope, the back half of my career, back half of my life. And how do I want to spend those days, hours, minutes? Who do I want to spend that time with, and what do I want to be doing with it?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have answers right now, but that's kind of where I've been the last few months.
Yeah, and they're such great questions. And I mean, I thank perimenopause, because it tends to bring forward all of those questions. So I feel perimenopause makes you feel like you're aging a hell of a lot quicker. So I've been dealing that since I was 40, and I know it varies for most women about when those...
Julie's on board with the peri. Yep, she's there.
When those things kick in, but it does pose those questions, because it starts to make you pay attention to what's important now compared to what was important before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is the gift of aging.
In French, they call it sagesse.
Oh, okay.
Sageness, wisdom, right? So, yeah, I mean, it gives you pause to think about how you want to spend that energy.
Yeah, yes, and yet I know my life, and I'll only speak on behalf of me, but my life is still set up as though I'm 20 or 30 years old. And I'm not. I'm mid-50s now. And I'm not 20 or 30 years old. And my mentality is good, except when perimenopause decides that I need to have a brain fog. Emotionally, I'm actually improving emotionally compared to what I was when I was 20 or 30. Physically, that's a little bit questionable, because I find that now that I'm in my mid-50s, everything takes a little longer to repair. Every stretch hurts a little more and a little longer after I've finished doing the stretch. age. And it's again that highlights, even if it's physically, it's like, right, well, where am I going to expend my energy? Am I going to sit on my phone for the first half an hour when I first wake up in the morning? Or am I going to stretch my physical body and limber and make sure that I'm mobile for the first half an hour? And so there's these different choices that seem to come the older I get. And I'm inviting the aging. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that I'm welcoming as I age.
Now, I appreciate this line of inquiry as somebody who prides himself on being able to find alternate perspective, to see things from a different light, to see them like, okay, yes, this is what's closing down in your life, but what does it open up for you? I haven't been able to get to the place yet where I'm able to ask myself that question, where I'm saying, what's good about this? Because I'm holding on to some stuff that I don't want to let go of.
Yeah. And we, I mean, don't we do that at every age?
I don't know, maybe.
I watch my daughter who, I mean, she's not aging, but at mid-20s, is she still holding on to some things that she did when she was 18 and 19? I guarantee it.
Mm.
It's called New Year's Eve parties. It's called, I don't know, drinking and doing whatever on Boxing Day. Like, you know, has she got the same recovery period? It's probably pretty close, but there are going to be some things that she's holding on to. What was the other thing that I thought of with her?
Let's out her.
She still holds on to, oh, mum, can you do that for me? Because I don't really want to adult much. So she's still holding on to the child approach or the teenager approach, assuming that mum and dad will just step in. Now, you know, she knows who her mother is, so she knows that the answer is no. How about you do it this way? But all ages, I think, hold on and don't want to let go because they're familiar. Is that not the reason we hold on to things, is because it feels familiar?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what I've been thinking about lately has been more about my physical abilities when it comes to like,
I mean, I guess that from your menu attached to the.
I just happened to be something that made me laugh when I opened it up. I'm like, yeah, maybe I do feel a bit like Thor, getting old. But so I've got a couple of different sides to this. So I want to be able to continue to do what I do, like for fitness and whatever. But I know that my body's not capable of doing it the way that it was before. Like I likely will not be getting stronger anymore. So it's more about holding on to as much strength as I can as I age, unless I was to spend copious amount of time just drilling and trying to get stronger. So I guess it would technically be possible, but do I want to put my time and energy into that? So,
and this comes back to the question of where do you want to put your energy?
Right. So being able to let go of, yeah, I'm not going to be able to lift that much anymore. But what do I want to, how do I want to redefine what fitness is and my exercise regime is for me now? While also not letting go of, like, no, I don't want to give in to it like it's a foregone conclusion that this is all disappearing. You know what I mean?
Yes, holding on for the fear of letting go of everything.
I mean, I could fall into the trap of, oh, I'm getting older. Oh, I'm getting hurt. Oh, I'm whatever, because that's kind of like the group think. But I don't necessarily want to hold on to what everybody else is thinking. I still want to overachieve in that area, but I also understand that I need to be a little bit realistic with what I can do.
Yes, and don't we all? Okay, so in the last 2 weeks, I had a bit of a fall, and it's interesting because I rang my mother-in-law the other day and I mentioned that to her, and she laughed at me because she loves me a lot. Anyway, she laughed at me and went, Chris, that's my job, not yours. What are you doing having a fall? And she's in her mid-70s. And I went, yeah, well, I'm just trying to catch up, you know, whatever. And she thought it was hilarious. But my physical body has had a bit of a shockwave sent through it. And it has taken, I'm already 10 days in, almost 2 weeks in, actually. And it's gone from like pain level of a 20. I halved it once I got to the physio. And over the last 10 days, I've dropped it down to about a 5. But it is still, there are muscles in my back and neck that are still complaining at me.
Yeah.
And it just takes longer. So I'm also persisting with going to the gym, but I do not have the strength at the moment. The muscles are like, no. Do not do any leg stuff. Don't be ridiculous. Cardio's fine. I can keep up to speed on the cardio, but any weight bearing anything is like. But I've persisted in going to the gym anyway because I didn't want to let go of the routine, but I did want to give myself some grace of not being physically able because I'm actually recovering from an injury. And maybe when I was 20, I would recover within 3 days. Now it might take me 3 weeks. So I'm trying to do both. Keep the pattern, and it's not the old way, but it's the, I want to maintain the pattern and the rhythm of going to the gym.
The habit, yeah.
The habit, but also allowing some thing. And I'm looking at utilizing a PT this year, and I'm keep looking at the trainers going, are they going to get it? Are they going to understand that I'm not always going to be at 100%? Because I'm mid-50s and then maybe, I don't know that they've had that experience yet to understand that. But it's been really in my face in the last 2 weeks about how much I'm actually capable and how much I'm not. And at 50, I don't know that that's a bad philosophy. At 20, we're supposed to be able to take on the world and do anything we want, and the world is our oyster, and we have all of the get up and go, and I can do it all, because we have to have that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't have to have that momentum. I can relax into things a little more, give myself space a little bit more. And so that's partly why I actually am enjoying the age that I am, because I get to relax into it.
When you start talking about like relaxing into and being okay with the aging process, I don't know if I'm quite there, but I do look at what my kids are going through now and the kind of the lifestyle that they're growing up in, where social media is like their everything. And I'm glad I'm not that age. With
Or
my
in that
mind,
era with the social media.
well, I'm still in it. Look at us.
Yeah, but we're not. But we've already developed all of the emotional and mental capacity in a different era.
Maybe, yes. But I don't know if I envy where they're at. I know this is the era that they're growing up in, and they will deal with it, and this is normal for them. But I'm not as okay with it, and I have the awareness that I don't want to be sucked into it the same way. So, I mean, in that respect, I'm quite happy to be on the other side, the early side of that, so that I don't feel like it's ruining my life.
Yeah. And and this comes back to the original comment you said, right, about, oh, we need a young thing to fix the whatever's going on the phone. And that's because they are so naturally, they just innately know.
They're immersed in it
They
from
are.
babies.
Yep. They know that they know how to get out a message on a keyboard using their thumbs. We did not have that.
A keyboard? What's that? What?
Yeah,
What
what's
is?
a real keyboard, or what's a mouse? You know, let's just do it on the keyboard that comes up on. Well, they know what a keyboard is, but only because it comes up on the screen, not because it's a physical keyboard. Well, I know I'm generalizing. I'm being ridiculous, but
okay, we're being old. That's all. It's fine.
But it is. But they do. They just have these skill sets that we've actually had to apply and learn. And they just get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lot of credit has to go to anyone that is, I'm going to say Gen X and above, who goes, actually, I'm still going to dip my toes in this. I'm still going to keep learning. I'm still going to apply, because this is that emotional and mental. We can still stay young in perspectives, or open to different perspectives, and be willing to learn. I think there's a lot that there's a lot of benefit in continuing to be open to adopt new ideas and new perspectives as we age. And sometimes that's about recognizing what the younger generation, or the generations that are coming through, have to offer. We can learn from them.
I mean, I often look to the kids to learn how to have fun, because you spend so much of your time trying to make things work and work and work and work, and
tasks and getting the house sorted and got to achieve this thing, and
all they want to do is play. Poor, horrible young things. All they want to do is have fun.
Oh, how very dare they.
So, I mean, they're constantly reminding me that I would benefit from backing off and slowing down and doing that kind of thing. I wish I was a little more open to it.
Yeah. So what would need to move in you for you to be more open to that? Is it simply a mental, is it like a mindset? Like, is it a question that you can apply?
It's time.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, let me clarify. It's the in my head implied lack of time.
Yeah. I don't have time for that. I don't have space for that. That's another word I use. I don't have space, which is the same thing. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I don't often have the time to be able to do those things. And then once that time has passed and I've spent the time doing what I need to do, I end up regretting that I didn't take some time.
Yeah.
To play.
Yes, and then on the flip side, when you take time to play, which I'm doing in 9 days' time, I'm very excited. Anyway, Renz and I are going away for a week, which I know you know about, but we are going away for a week, and then it's like, oh, I should be doing that. Should I also make sure that I check my email? Like, for God's sake. It's like, even when I carve out time and space to have a week off, I'm then reverting back to, and what should I be doing in that time? It's really, I find it quite a challenge to fully commit to no responsibility, play, and carefree time.
Do you think that comes with age?
I'm hoping that age actually gives me more opportunity for that. In that I'm hoping that what age brings is a more natural way of doing that without all of the shoulds. And I'm touching on that this year as we move further into this year. Taking blocks, big blocks where I put a lot of boundaries around there where I'm not doing anything else other than having that free time. And that's the first time I've ever done that in my adult life, where I haven't had other commitments that I need to pay attention to at the same time. And I wonder if that comes. Now I'm declaring, I'm setting this up so that I can try it for the first time. I'm practicing this idea. We may have to review this in 6 months and see whether I actually achieved it. However, I'm inviting it in as a practice run. So I wonder if aging gives that gift.
But I have a feeling it's a practice as well. So the first time you do anything, you're usually kind of crappy at it, right? Like it's rare that you're able to pick up something brand new and you're just all of a sudden amazing at it. That's pretty rare. However, I think with enough practice and tweaking of the process that you're setting up for yourself, you'll have the ability to do so.
Yes.
And with a little bit of grace, with
a little bit of grace, of forgiveness, and I did really pay attention to those emails longer than I
should have
thought I would. But yes, and the other thing I'm doing to so yes, not being perfect at it, give myself grace there, but also having some trial runs before that, so that I can practice how I'm actually going to achieve that. What's my being observant of how I'm going to lean into that, whether I'm going to resist it, whether I'm going to make excuses and justification. So on this next week when we go away, see, I'm already starting it. I'm not fully committing to not doing any work, but I am committing to doing to letting go of some of the work in that week.
Okay.
So I don't want to take too big of a step the first time I trial it, so that I can feel whether I justify that and I end up doing all the work that I said I wouldn't do, or I did stick to what I wanted to achieve. So while we're away, I have short amounts of client work to do every day, but I'm not going to look at my email because I can survive for a week without looking at email. Who knows if I come back and have achieved that. Maybe I have to fess that up on the next conversation we have. And just to keep it real. But yes, preparing and not taking too much of a big step is also helping with those new boundaries and new approach in life. Because it's different to how I've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
Which comes back to what you were even saying about the physicality of going to the gym or staying the strength that you already have. Small adjustments.
I think part of why I think this has been a challenging thought for me, or topic, and maybe it's not even coming out well, I don't even know, is that it takes a while to see changes. Like when you're making progress towards a goal or whatever, sometimes it's really hard to see unless you have a nice big sample size you can look back in time. So to go from what I consider to be whatever my peak health at whatever point in time, it hasn't degraded to the point where I am like a slob and I can't do anything. I've maintained most of it, I think, but it's such a small degradation over time that it's a slow, and it's not until you like run into a brick wall at some point in time and go, oh wow, like that was felt really heavy. Like I don't remember it being that hard. So it's kind of like those little wake up calls that you get where you're like, oof, okay, I'm not what I used to be. I'm
Yeah.
not
Now
I'm
it
not
takes
in
me.
bad shape, but I'm not what I was.
Yeah. Yeah. And accepting. I wonder if I don't know that humans in general are good at accepting those micro changes
Mm.
because we want it to be the way that we know and we're familiar with.
And for somebody who's goal oriented and always wanting to see progress, what is now progress?
Yes. What does that look like? How do we define that? And I think that's the gift of the aging is an opportunity to redefine it.
I also think it's an opportunity to share with other people that they're not alone in this degradation.
Oh, what a lovely note. We could just end on that
We are
one.
all decaying slowly.
Well, I mean, it's true.
It's not untrue.
Correct. And I mean, I saw this article the other day and it was referring to Jane Fonda and her sister, and they were doing a comparison. I don't even know why somebody thought this was a useful thing to do, but it was an interesting take on this idea. The major points, and I'm not saying that I agree with the way that and the points that were being presented, but I thought it was like, interesting. They highlighted about how fit and young Jane looked in her 70s, and her sister was not as fit, and yet had held true to who she is. And has done all these amazing things. They were not being critical of actually either of them, but it sort of highlighted this whole, there are many ways to age. And I wonder if we have a definition of what aging is supposed to look and feel like, rather than just embracing the way that we individually are going to age.
That's interesting too, because I haven't thought about this at all. But seeing how plastic surgery has become like a really mainstream way to try to hold on to youthful appearance. And it's almost weird to see a celebrity who has decided not to do that. Like,
yes, they almost look wrong, right?
Like the Pamela Andersons of the world, and you're like, woof, yeah, like that's what real aging is. But we're holding on to something that, even if it's plastic, to try to hold on to it longer.
And you get it, you get it, this exposure into social media, because this is where we look at everything, right? Is the Cheers show, and all these characters, they were 34 years old and 40 years old and blah blah blah, and look how old they look back from the 80s when they did their show, and now you've got this comparative show and these people are this age and look how young they look. And it's like there's this shame in, you have to be, when you're 34 or when you're 40 or when you're 54, you have to look a particular way. And if you don't look that way, then you must be aging negatively, or which then comes back to the let's get the plastic surgery, let's not. But yeah, there's all that comparison that goes on when maybe we all have an individual way that we're going to age,
if we can,
and that's okay.
If we can just let it be.
Yeah. So I'm also, though, I think it's important to know that from a very young age, I've never had any issue with aging. I always celebrate my birthday. I'm will always share with people how old I am. I don't adhere to the, oh no, you can't tell someone how old you are. I go,
don't ask.
I'm like, why? Whatever. It's a number.
Number.
So I don't have a lot of issue with that, where I know some people do have some fundamental, ideas around that. And so that, I think, can contribute to this.
For sure.
But yes, welcome to aging.
This is 49. Whatever
looks
that
reasonable
means.
To me.
It looks reasonable. Yeah, that sounds about right. Reasonable. Yeah, I'll settle for reasonable right now.
Well, it's like, what compared to what though? What are we? If I say, oh, that looks, you look great for 49, Ian. What am I comparing that to?
Well, it would be your definition of what 49 would look like to you, right? Which is all personal opinion, anyways.
Which is why I come to reasonable, right? Because it's like, well, I'm still comparing something, but I'm also not identifying it to maybe some idealistic something or other. This is what 54 looks like for me in my life experience. I don't know. I'm kind of happy with it. Do I care if someone else isn't?
As you should be. As you should be. And I think that's all part of the aging process. As far as aging gracefully is being okay with where you're at. Because there's nothing you can do about the number on the sheet. You can do things that support you in living healthier, better, whatever. But there's a lot of things that are out of your control outside of those daily steps, the daily actions that you take.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that was a fun topic, Ian.
Thank you for indulging me on aging.